You're sitting in the back seat of a rideshare. Streetlights flicker past. Your phone buzzes, screen glowing with a message from a number you don't recognize. It's late, too late for good news. Your thumb hovers over the notification, heartbeat in your ears. You check the message. It's short, just an address and a time. The sender is only a name, nothing more. This is how it started. Level 1, the approach. You tell yourself you're just curious, you're just a student, maybe between jobs watching bills pile up. You tell yourself everyone gets desperate. The world outside your window is cold and indifferent, and your phone is an anchor to people who offer warmth if you play along. Tomorrow you find yourself at a coffee shop, a crowded place where nobody cares who you are. Someone sits across from you. You don't know his name. He slides a manila envelope your way. Inside, a handful of SIM cards, some papers, and a cheap burner phone. You don't ask too many questions. You don't need to. You know this is wrong. You tell yourself it's temporary. You're just passing something on. That's what he says. All you have to do is activate a new card for someone who lost their phone. He says it's basically customer service. He laughs as he says it. You look down at the SIM cards. They're thin as fingernails, harmless looking. The burner phone feels slick in your palm. Plastic, cold. You walk out with the envelope tucked under your jacket. Rain taps against the brim of your cap. No one notices you. That's the design. Back in your apartment, you scroll online for stories, posts about SIM swaps. You read the headlines: bank accounts emptied, two-factor codes stolen, people locked out of their lives, faces you'll never see, names you'll never remember. You wouldn't know unless you were looking for it. It's all distant. The distance between you and the crime is 3 people deep. You go to the store like he said. You wait in line. The worker behind the counter smiles, bored, tapping keys. You hand over the ID, a printout with someone else's name, someone else's life. The worker barely glances at it. "New SIM?" he says, yawning. You nod. He activates it with a few clicks. The SIM slides into the burner phone. The screen lights up. You feel the buzz against your hand. A new number, a new beginning, or maybe an ending. You walk out, sun on your face, the city loud and fast all around you. You tell yourself you'll stop, but you don't. That's why it works. Days pass. Another message. Another time, another place. This time, it's easier. You move through the lines like a shadow. Sometimes you see people waiting at the counter, clutching cracked phones and pleading with staff. You don't look at their faces. Level 2. The mechanics. You start noticing little things. A security camera behind the register, the way the clerk's eyes flick to your ID and back. You become hyper-aware of the way your footsteps sound on tile. The burner phone feels heavier every time it rings. You tell yourself the distance is still there. You're just a middleman. You don't know how the cards are used or who uses them. You hear about accounts drained, posts online from people who can't log into anything. Sometimes you recognize the number that flashes on the news. It's the number you activated. The guilt builds slowly, like water pooling under a locked door. You see a news segment one night. An anchor stands in front of a blue screen, explaining how SIM swap scammers operate. Victims' faces are blurred, their voices tremble. One of them says, "My whole life, gone in seconds." Your throat tightens. You wonder if it was your hands that helped. You go for a walk to clear your head, passing glowing storefronts and faces that look through you. You think about the envelope in your desk drawer, the burner phone turned off and hidden under your mattress. You think about the cash, folded in your wallet, not enough to change your life. You tell yourself you'll quit after this one. You tell yourself nobody really gets hurt. But you know that's not true. You get another message. This time, there's a new instruction. Be quick, don't ask questions, leave your phone behind. The tone is different, sharper, less friendly. Your hands shake as you zip up your jacket. You feel the weight of the burner phone in your pocket. You step out into the night, muffled by fog and city noise. Every shadow feels like a warning. You think it's almost over, but you're wrong. The next level is waiting. Level 3. The escalation. You meet in a parking lot behind a shuttered grocery store. Sodium lights flicker overhead, buzzing like insects. The car window rolls down just a crack. You see only eyes in the darkness, watching you. They ask if you've got it. You slide the envelope through the gap. The car idles, engine breathing quietly. A voice tells you there's another task. No time to argue, no room for nerves. You're given a name, a time, a phone number scribbled on a slip of paper. The instructions are clipped, practiced. You're told to act fast, then walk away and forget. You feel sweat bead on your neck, even though the night is cold. You try not to think about the person on the other end, the woman up late finishing her taxes, the student texting friends about an exam, the father setting his alarm for work. You picture the blue glow of a screen lighting up in a quiet bedroom. You picture trust, routine, normalcy, about to vanish. Inside the phone shop, the staff barely glance at you. They hand over the new SIM. No questions. You keep your voice level, your hands steady. Your heart hammers loud enough to echo in your ears. Each transaction feels less real, more automatic. The world shrinks to a tunnel. You don't see faces, only tasks. You move with muscle memory. The city blurs past subway windows. You count steps on grimy stairs. You avoid security cameras, trace paths through alleys slick with rain. You drop the SIM card in a mailbox, never the same place twice. You toss the burner phone in a garbage can by a highway on-ramp. You tell yourself you're invisible, but you start noticing things. A stranger crossing the street too slowly. The same car driving by again. A knock at your door when you're not expecting anyone. You convince yourself it's nothing. Paranoia, just nerves. Still, you sleep with one eye open. The cash comes in faster now, thicker stacks, heavier envelopes. But it doesn't feel like money anymore. It feels like evidence, like weight. You hide the bills deeper. You check your locks twice, then 3 times. You jump at sudden sounds. A distant siren, a footstep in the hall. Days pass. News breaks of a local business owner locked out of everything. Their life unraveled in a few clicks. You turn away from the TV, but the words follow you. The suspect remains unidentified. For now. You try to work a regular job. You show up, punch in, smile on cue. But every vibration in your pocket spikes your pulse. Every unknown number feels like a trap. You catch yourself staring at customers' faces, searching for suspicion, for recognition. Your hands shake when you count change. You see warnings flash across billboards, on the backs of city buses. Protect your accounts. Beware of SIM swapping. You feel exposed in broad daylight. Just one more, you say. Every time it's just one more. Level 4, the investigation. You wouldn't know unless you were looking for it. But cracks begin to show. A call from the phone company, asking about irregular requests. A letter in the mail, marked confidential. You notice police near the phone shops talking quietly to staff. You see plainclothes officers posted at the train station, watching the crowd with patient, steady eyes. Rumors ripple through the underground. Someone got sloppy. Someone talked. The distance between you and the crime shrinks to a single degree. You feel it in the pit of your stomach, a tightening, a sense that you're running out of road. You destroy the SIM cards. You scrub your phone. You think about disappearing. The paranoia becomes a part of you. You see yourself on every security screen, every reflection in a shop window. You pass a park at dusk. Children play under fading sunlight, their laughter distant and thin. You wonder what it's like to feel safe. You try to remember the last time you did. You tell yourself you'll stop. You pack your things, ready to vanish. But then, another message arrives. No words, just an address, a time. Your hands tremble as you read it. The city lights blur behind the film of your fear. You think you still have a choice, but the current is stronger than you imagined. Level 5. The fallout. It happens on a Monday morning, gray and silent. You wake to the sound of fists hammering your door, heavy boots on the stairs, voices, urgent and practiced, spilling into your apartment. You freeze. Every alibi, every excuse melts away in the rush of panic. You know it's over before you even see the uniforms, the evidence you tried to erase, the cash you tried to bury. It all blazes under the harsh light of real consequence. Your hands are cuffed behind your back, cold metal, rough grip. Your neighbors watch through cracked doors. Some whisper, some just stare. Downstairs, the officers sort through your things. Plastic bags seal the fragments of your double life. Your phone, your laptop, the cash. You hear them reading off charges, each word heavier than the last. Fraud, theft, identity crimes. You never thought your own name would be read like this. The ride to the station is longer than any you've ever taken. Every stoplight is a lifetime. You watch the city pass by through dirty glass. No part of it feels like yours anymore. Inside the interview room, the air is stale and thin. The detective sits across from you, hands folded, eyes steady. He doesn't look angry, just tired. He slides a sheet of paper toward you. Names, numbers, dates, victims. You see your own handwriting in the margins. A chill creeps up your spine. These aren't just files. They're people. People you never met, but whose lives you turned inside out for a moment of easy money. You think about the business owner on the news. You think about the mother whose photos vanished, the student locked out of their future. Faces behind the numbers. You don't remember their names, but you remember the sound the notifications made each time you took control. The detective asks why. You don't have an answer that makes sense. Not really. Greed, boredom, the pressure to keep up. You try to explain the web you fell into, but the words dissolve in your mouth. He waits for you to finish, but you have nothing left to say. Weeks pass in holding. The routine is sharp and unforgiving. Doors slamming, fluorescent lights flickering overhead. You replay every decision in your mind. The first message, the first envelope of cash, the night you told yourself it was temporary. Each step led here. One day, a lawyer slides paperwork across the table. Sentencing, restitution. The numbers are impossibly large. You sign your name with a shaking hand. It doesn't matter. No signature can erase what's already been done. Letters arrive from people you hurt, some angry, some broken. Some just want to understand why. You read them all. The words burn deeper than any punishment. This is the real cost. Trust shattered, lives disrupted, damage that doesn't go away when the accounts are restored. A season turns. You watch families visit other inmates, laughter and tears on the other side of the glass. You see a news report on TV. Authorities crack down on SIM swap scams. Faces flash across the screen. Yours is one of them. You can't look away. Level 6, the aftermath. Released 1 year later. Everything feels unfamiliar. The city moves on without you. The money is gone. The friends you had in the scheme scatter to the wind or disappear entirely. You line up for work, for housing, for another chance. Every job application asks about the record. Every new phone feels like a risk. You see warning posters taped to phone shop windows, faces of people you'll never know. You hear stories on the radio of accounts lost, of identities stolen. You hear the fear in their voices. You hear regret in yours. One night, you walk past a park at dusk. The same park as before. Children play beneath the dull glow of streetlights. Their laughter echoes. You know now that shortcuts come with a price, that the distance between you and harm is never as wide as it seems. You can't undo what's done, but you can choose what comes next. The lesson stays with you, settling in quiet and heavy. Crime promises easy escape, but only leads to a cell, a scar, a story you can't rewrite. You keep walking. The consequences follow step for step.